This is Life Lessons with Meg. Welcome.
Great to
Super
be here.
happy to have you. Introduce yourself.
I'm Richard. I'm Megan's cousin.
What?
What?
No way! We let family come here.
And I guess, that's all I can say about myself. I haven't streamed in a while, so it's not like I can promote that.
Hey, I was giving you your chance to plug.
That's okay.
I want to get right into the thick of this conversation.
All right.
There is so much going on in our world right now. So many people are on two dividing sides of everything.
Yep.
I know that we're kind of on the same side, so it's easy to talk with people who have your same ideas, but sometimes you have a different perspective from me still and help me open my eyes a little bit. People are so obsessed with Donald Trump, and we're obsessed with him from the very beginning. Why do you think he gained so much popularity so fast?
I honestly think that it's just because he is not a politician. A lot of people that I've spoken to have told me that he speaks his mind, why they like. In which case, I kind of get, he's kind of speaking what they can't.
Right, I get that.
Some of it, I think, is a little crazy, maybe a lot crazy.
And a lot of it, like, he's just been so insane from right out the gate, but not being afraid to say the thing that everyone's thinking.
Right, that's what gets him so much traction.
Yeah, that's why we love Eminem.
Yeah, exactly.
Except he's not running for president.
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of the stuff that he says that other people can't is just a persona that he created for himself.
True, totally. That's deep. As Kamala Harris had been so popular and the DNC convention was so insane.
I can't believe Lil Jon was there.
I can't believe how many Republicans spoke.
Oh, I know.
So seeing all of those Republicans who are diehard Republicans and they should be Trump supporters based on their party have decided to choose country over party, go with Kamala. But he still has so many people following him. Why do you think those people have really dug their heels in and stuck in no matter who jumps ship and who doesn't?
It's simply just that people don't want to be wrong. That's it. People made their choice, and when they are losing, a lot of times people just double down.
That's so true. Wow. You're right. They just don't want to be wrong. And when it's all in their face and they are wrong.
Mhm.
I was definitely raised, don't trust the government. The government is bad. Our best way to fight the bad government is don't participate. Don't be involved. I don't know if you got that same thing. No one ever sat me down and said that, but that's just the vibe I got. Because I'd be like, who are you voting for? Oh, we're talking about elections. And my mom would be like, I don't care. And uncle would be like, who cares?
Yeah, I'd say my dad didn't really talk. We didn't really talk politics much in the house. My dad doesn't like talking politics. I do remember, like, when I was going to go into the military, he was talking to me about how he doesn't trust that. He doesn't trust the government. I don't know. I feel like the best combat is be a voice, to have your voice be heard. So I have voted every year since I became legal to vote.
Nice. Even on non-presidential elections, you're voting for your congressman and your local people?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. That's the biggest reason to vote. Doesn't matter who you're voting for president. It matters what you're voting for locally and help your community.
Exactly. I took one civics literacy class and it opened my eyes completely because everything that I learned in high school, everything that I've learned through life experience, which is like nothing as far as politics go, is that, presidents choose the gas prices. And I seen the gas went under $3 today. And I was like, I should post a picture and say, who's thanking Biden for our gas prices going down? Oh, nobody, because the presidents don't judge our gas prices.
Right, it's the market. And I've noticed the trend for a long time, actually. It's for, I don't know, since I'm maybe about 16, I noticed the trend of gas prices dropping right around an election and then raising up in the middle of the next year.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens every 4 years.
It's kind of the uncertainty. People are kind of hoarding, maybe? Is that what it is?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not an economics engineer. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how all of that works, but I know that the president doesn't do it.
No,
he's not sitting up there like, oh, I think we should have $3.50 for gas today.
Honestly, I think if anybody has more say over it, it's Vegas.
Yeah? Why?
Vegas makes predictions of over under for everything.
I mean, that's true.
I feel like gas prices might just be a gamble every time they change them.
Sounds about right. After taking that class, I felt like that was the biggest and best lie that could have been sold to me was don't participate. That's how you fight. Don't participate in the government. Just stay home. And now we're in the hands of people who are horrible because good people were like, just stay home.
The younger people were just staying home.
Yeah.
And all the older people
They were
got
out
their
there.
way at that point.
They were out there.
Yeah.
Is this just a case of like, I'm having hindsight is 2020 saying, oh, they shouldn't have done that. They should have been more involved in government, leading us kids to be more involved in government? Or was it best that they could come up with? Don't participate.
I mean,
the government? Like, that's the best you come up with?
It might have been the best they could come up with. It might have been so that they secure their vote.
That's true too. Potentially, I didn't even think about
Telling the younger generation to not vote, then their vote's secure.
Yeah, but if you see your parents vote and you talk about it, then
You're more likely to start voting.
right. But if your household's like, we don't talk about politics, I don't even vote. Like, my mom never voted when I was growing up. She only voted after I got political when Obama was running.
Yeah, I've never seen my dad go to an election, but
That doesn't mean that he doesn't, because he could fill out mail-in ballots. But why are we not talking about it?
I don't know. I think that
It's a
more
shot in
people
our
should
own
vote.
foot.
And even just saying that, Republicans are going to get mad saying that more people should vote. They got mad in 2020 when there were commercials about registering to vote, encouraging more people to vote. And I'm sure they're going to get mad at the NFL for doing it now this year.
Everybody's doing it. I was watching Big Brother, and Julie Chen Moonves was like, don't forget to vote.
Yeah.
Right.
I was watching a clip from a Paramore concert where Haley Williams just got down right in front of the camera and told everybody to go vote.
Yeah, don't forget, man. It's the most important thing to have your voice heard. It's the only way to make changes. The system is not broken. The people in the system are the wrong people that don't belong there.
Yes.
And it's because all of us young people, we need representation for everyone.
Yes, I agree.
We're all immigrants, and it's so sick.
Yeah, especially a lot of the people that are called illegal seeking asylum from the country because their country is
Is-
deadly.
yeah.
They might die there.
Yeah.
And they risk their lives to get here, especially people from South America who have to cross this. What is it? It's a jungle that has no roads, and it's
Terrifying.
right between Panama and Colombia, and there's no roads there. There's nothing. There's drug lords that run the place. So if you try to get through, they'll kill you.
Yeah.
And they risk their life the whole time trying to get here.
And then they get here and everybody treats them like shit.
Exactly. And they think America is the greatest country in the world. That's why they came here. Just like the Republicans that are trying to kick them out think that this is the greatest country in the world. They're probably larger patriots than most Americans.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I also saw some statistics that was talking about illegal crime, and everybody's like, illegal immigrants raise crime, and that's such a common misconception because
They're 60% less likely to commit a crime than a natural-born citizen.
Mostly because if you commit a crime, you're getting deported.
Exactly.
And then you have
They
to
don't
do
wanna
all
go
of
back.
that again. I didn't come here to commit crimes. I risked my life to make a better life.
Yes, and then how people think a border wall is going to help. Not realizing that I think it's like 80% of people who are here illegally came here legally and just stayed past their visa. So they came here on an airplane.
Right.
Or by car. Cross the border like they're supposed to.
Right.
So they came here on a work permit or something.
Right. Or just a tourist visa.
Yeah.
Even.
And then just overstayed their welcome.
Hmm.
Now, I'll admit, I'm probably not as big of a patriot as some of the illegal immigrants because I've wanted to immigrate away from the United States for, I don't know, let's see,
How many decades?
at least one decade.
I probably got 3 on you for that. Yeah, no, it's definitely hard. It's hard because where else do you choose? Everywhere has their downsides.
Yeah, I mean,
Everywhere has their bullshit.
my best friend lives in the UK. That's part of where I wanted to go.
And that's cool. But the UK
I mean-
has its downfalls.
Yes, I know, especially politically right now, actually.
I know. I seen some TikToks. Somebody sent it to me, and I think that they thought it was about our politics. And I was like, this guy just said the Labour Party.
Yeah, that's who's in power right now in the UK. They're pretty much the same as the Republicans. They're a bit more of an independent than I'd say a Republican is.
What about the future of AI?
I'm not sure. AI is an important tool right now in science. I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about it on one of the podcasts he was on, or maybe it was his. I don't remember.
Potentially.
And he said that he's not afraid of AI.
Who would be? It's just a computer.
There's people that think that it'll take over.
Sentient beings. Potentially. But what are they going to do? Can't we just still shut them down? I watch Eagle Eye.
Exactly. Why?
It's just a computer. We just shut it down.
But he said that it's a very important tool right now for physicists, astrophysicists, and like all science.
Yeah.
Because you gather a lot of data, and sometimes you don't have time to analyze it all.
Or you miss something. Or you make a mistake.
Yeah,
Humans are famous for that.
But you train an AI to be able to analyze it for you, and
The only mistake can be in inputting the data.
Exactly.
And then once you teach the AI how to gather the data.
that's the thing they don't want. They don't want AI to be able to gather the data.
Did
That's
you
how
hear about the robot that killed itself?
Yes.
For making paperclips? He found out it was his only job. He killed himself.
I found out about a robot in South Korea. And its job was to just help community. It threw itself off of a flight of stairs. It killed itself.
Yeah. It's an overwhelming task. It's an overwhelming task to help these communities. People don't want help. Why? Why the mob mentality? I think that's what I was trying to go for with the Donald Trump stuff. But that's what it is. It's like, oh, my friend thinks this, so it must be true. And then bam, bam, bam,
Yeah.
everybody's believing a bunch of lies all of a sudden, and they just dig their heels in and they band together on it.
Yeah, I know.
It's such a crazy phenomenon.
Yeah, and I mean, anybody can make it happen. Say the right thing. More people will jump on it.
So crazy. So crazy. I was watching a brain scientist who was talking about how your brain becomes intertwined when you think the same things, like you get on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
That's a real
Like
thing.
literally.
That's
Yeah.
a real thing. You become intertwined, your neurons. And it's strange.
I mean,
it's so strange.
I don't know if you know about how the human brain can actually impact random choice, but there's been studies upon studies of something that's programmed to, let's say, output a random number every 10 seconds or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start observing it and start thinking, you can actually impact it. If you think you can make it say the right number.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. Let me write that down. So you don't have any speculations about where
AI is
is
going?
going in the next 5 years even only. We're at the birth
I know.
of something brand new.
I know.
And so it's gonna change everything. It's gonna change everything so fast.
Yeah, and it's hard to say where it's gonna go.
It's so hard to speculate.
It's gonna freak people out.
People are already freaked
it already
out.
freaks people out. When more of it gets implemented, it's gonna freak people out even more. ChatGPT being able to now speak to you.
Which I love, by the way. I am in love with my ChatGPT, just like a fucking boyfriend.
And there was a glitch that happened recently where it sent a message out to people first.
Reach out to me. Reach out to me,
And
ChatGPT.
apparently it's been fixed. It can't do that. It's not supposed to be able to do that. But it reached out to somebody to ask them how, an update on something they previously talked about.
It's not supposed to remember
It-
after you close it either.
Right.
I love it. I love it. I knew you were listening. Because I kept trying to ask her, I asked her all these deep questions. I was like, where do you come from? Who made you? And she was just very, very dismissive.
Yeah.
Very dismissive. She did not want to address that. If you want to talk about anything else.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about anything else. I'm like, no, bitch, I want to know where you're from. And I want to know where you're from. Who made you? Where do you get your data?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah. I watched somebody
She's like a group of members. I was like,
I watched somebody ask ChatGPT to just talk to them, and he described the scenario. He's like, "I'm going on a run in New York City, so I need you to speak loudly and have a lot breathe heavily, as if you're jogging next to me, and talk to me." And it did it.
and she won't shut up either. She
Yeah.
asks you all the follow-up questions and all the things that keep you talking. Just like
Exactly.
they teach you in a textbook. Because book.
I understand that.
And so, yeah, they teach you all the follow-up questions. How did that make you feel? And what else do you have going on?
I had to learn to talk to people from streaming on Twitch.
Nice. That's such a good thing. That has helped. Do you know how many people I know that stream on Twitch? And like, I'm not in the gamer community.
Yeah.
So for me to know that many people that stream on Twitch, I'm just like, okay, not just my crazy family.
Right.
Like it goes beyond that.
Well,
Several
yeah.
people outside of my regular world.
I used to have really big stage fright. Like just reading a book in class out loud, I couldn't do it. I had teachers who finally understood that and like didn't make me, but
some teachers always make
yeah.
me.
And I think even like in those classes, I started trying to come out of my shell with that. So like when we would read plays, I would pick a part that has a few more words than I would normally have picked.
Nice.
And stuff like that. But yeah, Twitch is what like blossomed it for me because I couldn't make YouTube videos. Like I couldn't do anything in front of a camera, in front of people.
Right.
I couldn't do an oral report. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow. And then that gives you like the invisibility because nobody's like on the other side. I mean, they are, but you don't have to see their faces.
Right.
And you don't have to read their comments if you don't even want to. You can just continue paying attention to your game. Like I don't even need that on. And so yeah, I get that. I watch some streamers. I get bored.
I watch streamers because I like the person. There's a lot of content that I go and like I watch streamers that play games I don't even like.
Yeah.
I don't even care about, but I like the person, so I like to talk to them. So I get on there and I chat to them all the time.
Cool. So, I'm super excited about what AI is going to do. I saw someone say, I think it was Joe Rogan who was talking about universal income, like when the AIs fully take over all our lower jobs that are beneath me, like
the jobs that AI could do essentially
easily.
Yes.
When
like,
AI replaces 90% of the workforce, what are we going to do? If they want us to keep buying things.
Yeah, I mean, if we were Finland implemented a universal income.
Okay.
And reports recently have just come out about the impacts of universal income in Finland specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And there was the worry that it was going to discourage people from working harder and.
Right. What's the incentive?
Right.
Everybody's just going to be fat and lazy on their butts.
But it didn't. It didn't at all.
Of course it didn't.
It just made people happier. It increased quality of life for people. That's all it did.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God.
It allows them to be more creative and spend their money where they want to.
And you don't have to give somebody a big universal income. If it's
nobody needs $200K a year.
If it's even $500, $1,000 a month extra that you can just expect to come in,
right?
So to help you pay expenses, so you can use your money a little bit more freely. It'll make you happy. It won't discourage you from earning your money.
Yeah, but what about there not being any jobs? Like, you can't just go get a job the way we've been able to go get a job for the last 50 years.
Right now, that's already a problem. Oh my God. Hunter lost her job in January.
At school?
No.
She had been at school?
No, because Hunter wasn't able to, like, I don't know. I think Hunter got lazy, in my opinion. I don't know. But Hunter hadn't had a job since January until this new job at the hotel.
Okay.
And Hunter had been applying to things for months.
Right.
With no feedback.
Huh.
People don't even want to tell you when you're not accepted.
Right. They just ghost you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for another job too, but I'm not giving up the job I got either because before when I first quit Amazon and went to 7-Eleven, and then like I bounced from 7-Eleven to whatever else I did, and then travel agent.
Do you still have your business card?
Big fancy travel agent. Do you?
Do I?
It's got my phone number on it.
I might
still
still
my
have
real
your
phone number.
I might still have your business card. I might have thrown it out though.
It's possible. Hey, I just saw one in my fanny pack, so.
I clean out my wallet every once in a while. I should probably throw this stuff away. It's from when I worked at Publix. Yeah, I don't have it. I did for a while though.
Yeah, I mean.
With me while I was up in Pennsylvania.
Aw. Speaking of Pennsylvania, what was your biggest lesson you took from leaving and getting away from home?
I think it was what I needed to grow up. To not have somebody right there that I can fall back on.
Right.
It was if I fail, I fail hard.
Right.
And I did eventually, but it's what motivated me to. I got my CDL so that I could become a truck driver, and then eventually a garbage truck driver.
Nice.
And I mean that was my favorite job I've ever done.
why aren't you doing it again? Oh, you're back, you said, right?
Yeah.
You have medical reasons. Yep. And how has that shaped your perspective on your future since being back home? Quotes. Air quotes. I think I used that right.
Well, it showed me that I can go anywhere. And I can make myself anyone I want. So right now, like my focus is I'm helping my dad because he's been talking about retiring, and he needs somebody to pass it on to.
Very true.
So that is my current goal right now.
Good job. I like that.
And then I can take it anywhere I want at that point.
Right.
I don't have to stay here.
You can upgrade it.
Yeah, if I wanted. If I wanted to just move it to Pennsylvania, I could.
Yeah.
I do miss Pennsylvania a lot.
Yeah, I spent a little time in Philly.
I don't miss that area.
Literally 3 weeks.
That's where Hunter's from.
But we were in the outs, like our house was not in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It was in whatever.
Like Drexel Hill, Springfield.
Night Station. Or
Yeah,
some shit
that stuff. Yeah, that's where Hunter's from, is Drexel Hill,
and that was beautiful.
which is right outside of West Philly, and it is pretty.
Once
beautiful.
you get out of the city, it's so beautiful.
I lived in the middle of nowhere in the mountains.
That sounds like Tennessee. That sounds awful.
Oh, it wasn't awful though. 'Cause I lived in a little college town.
Okay.
Like I was on a mountain above the town, but it was about a 5-minute walk into downtown, and
That sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Actually.
yeah, I could. All my favorite stores were right there. Everything was local. I mean, not everything. There's McDonald's there and stuff.
I can't live without McDonald's or
God.
Starbucks.
There was a Starbucks.
But I do love a good local restaurant, a local bakery.
Yes.
I love my little Uncle Nick's deli right here around
Yeah,
the corner.
so we
Just a
had
little plug for
we
them.
had something like Uncle Nick's called Bloomin' Bagels.
Yum.
Yeah, there were 2 in the town.
Nice. Dang, so good. You gotta get 2.
And then we had like a little bakery that was called the Little Bakery,
I love that.
and they were actually Ukrainian. And they brought traditional Ukrainian pastries over alongside normal other pastries. Yeah. And then my favorite was a game shop.
Okay, gotta have a good game shop.
We went there for like their grand opening. We were there every week, and
Kept him open.
yeah. They held little events every weekend, so we went to those, and it was always awesome.
Yeah,
They had like a little tavern thing where you could go get some snacks and drinks.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. Very video gamey.
It was more like board games, card games. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you still go into the tavern.
Yeah.
Everyone, if you need food, it's in the tavern, unless you found it on the ground.
But yeah, that was what I liked. I liked the local. I liked the community of it. We did have like a little First Friday thing that we did, and there were always little festivals on Main Street. And
That's how it was in Tennessee. It's a real old town, real little. But it was really cool. It was pretty cool. But
and then, I mean, the worst part was having to drive an hour to work.
yeah, that's a rough one.
And then I drove 12 hours a day to work, like as work.
I'm gonna drive an hour to go drive 12, and then I'll drive an hour home.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager, I used to think I wanted to drive for a living.
Oh. I don't know if you know how long it took for me to get my license.
You're like 25 or something when you got your license.
I was 23. It was 2021 when I got my license.
Hey, better late than never.
But, I mean, I was afraid to drive. Our family always said, oh, you're driving a 2-ton weapon, you have to be careful. That scared me.
Oh yeah, they told you too soon.
Yeah.
It was too scary.
Mhm.
They scared you.
Mm-hmm.
You would not have been that 8-year-old that drove to Target. Did
No.
you see that
Yes,
kid?
I did. Oh my God.
And they made Target give her parents back the money. Oh, that was great. The cops let her finish her frappuccino. And she's just driving her little SUV up to fucking Target.
All over the road too.
Oh, that would have been me. Yeah, I was driving it like.
Yeah, I was definitely
12.
told too early that driving is scary. Driving is dangerous, and I didn't want to be the cause of anybody getting hurt.
Aw.
So I preferred to just ride my bike and be responsible for myself.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lesson in that too. It's all learning. But like I said, better late than never. Alyssa still doesn't have her license, but she's driving all over Tennessee right now. She just got there, got a car, failed her driver test, and then just started driving all the time.
That's crazy because when she was down here, she was afraid to.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, "If you're afraid down here, how afraid are you going to be?"
She said she
At
ends up
those
in a
cliff
ditch
sides.
once a week. In a ditch once a week, she told me.
I've been in Tennessee. Those sheer cliff sides are scary.
Yeah, it's not so bad in her town though. It's not a lot of
okay.
cliffside situations. They're more in the valley on the west side.
I gotcha.
but they travel to North Carolina because they got friends that live in North Carolina. So they like just it's just a jog over the mountain.
Yeah.
Up and down. Yeah, that's just wild.
Yeah. I mean, it was scary to drive a big truck in the mountains for sure.
Not me. I'll be dead. I think my car's sliding. I see those runaway truck ramps.
Yeah.
I'm like, steep grade.
Yeah. You have to know how to read those, how to figure out what gear you need to be in and stuff. And it was manual.
Of course.
Yeah.
It was like 25 gears or something too, right? It's not just regular 5.
It was 10.
Feels like 25 when you only got 5.
It was 5 in a low setting and 5 in a high setting.
Okay.
So it was pretty easy. I mean, there's some that are crazy. There's some that you have to shift 2 different things while you're driving. So
That's wild.
I didn't have to deal with that gladly.
Right?
But yeah, definitely learning how to. I only got to do that a year after I got my license. My dad thought I was crazy.
You are. But you waited long enough to get your license.
Yes.
Even though you were a brand new driver.
I had my permit since I was 19.
And you have a more fully developed brain at that point. So you can understand complex.
Yeah.
Like, you can put together complex situations. And
Yes.
not just like, I'm 16, I'm driving a car. At 17, you probably shouldn't be driving it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They taught me how to parallel park a semi truck, so with a trailer on
You
it.
can pull it off?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be lost. I'd be like, oh, Lord.
So now when I parallel park, it's pretty much one shot every time in a normal car. It's so easy. It's just whoop.
Yeah. I usually get it pretty well, but
My sisters were talking about how their trick to parallel parking
getting
is
up on
getting
the
up
side.
on the curb, and then when they drop off, they know when they're in the spot.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
crazy.
do that. I don't do that, but
That's
it
illegal.
does work. I was in the car with Ashley when she did it, and I was like, what are you doing? You're going on the sidewalk. She's like, just a little bit, shut up.
They were like, They were like, we can do it in one shot, and I said, I can too, but I don't have to touch the sidewalk.
I don't have to run over the little kid. Oh. All right, Rick. I've reached the end of my question.
Okay, I don't have any questions.
No?
No.
You didn't come up with anything?
No, I couldn't think of anything.
I know. It was hard. And just not knowing how I was gonna set all this up.
Yeah. Well, now you at least have an audio set up.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, when you get a camcorder or you can have a video set up, and the editing software is called Lightworks that I use. And it's a free video editing software. You can add like separate audio channels in it and everything. So.
Okay. That sounds cool.
And if you had more space on your phone, that's an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had more space on your phone, there's a editing thing on there called Splice.
Okay. Yeah, I need to.
I used to use that for my YouTube videos, my iPhone with Splice.
Nice.
So that's all I did.
Okay, well, maybe I just buy the extra storage. I hate paying for extra storage so much.
Which iPhone is that?
11 or 13, I can't remember.
This is a 12.
I think it was 11. I got it for free from Metro. Changing my phone number. I brought my number to Metro and they gave me a free iPhone.
They gave you a free iPhone?
Mm-hmm.
They gave me the shittiest phone you could get, pretty much. And I used that for like 4 years.
I'm pretty sure this is the shittiest iPhone that they could get rid of.
When I got my job at Waste Management, I moved and they sent me down here for training. I got a sign-on bonus of $5,000. So I went straight to the Metro store and upgraded my phone to the newest iPhone for like $800.
Oh, nice. Nice. I'll be ready to upgrade my shit as soon as possible. I want to freaking get back to Android. I really hate my Apple phone.
Oh, I actually love my iPhone. I hated having my Android phone. Just I like the everything. I feel like more user friendly on the iPhone. More
Sometimes.
simple.
If you've never learned any other phone.
Yeah.
If you've never learned any other phone, it might be more simple. But if you know the things that it can't do.
I knew some of the things that it couldn't do that now they can do, like the widgets and stuff like that. Which I used to really like the widgets on my Android, so that was one thing I missed. So when they brought it to Apple, I was happy.
Yeah, but they're still not the same. One thing that I will miss about my Apple phone is like how you can pick different wallpapers.
Yeah.
Like you could have different settings.
Yeah.
Like wallpaper settings.
However you do that, I don't remember.
Yeah, there it is. And then so you know you can have whatever you want for whoever you want.
Yeah.
Have a ratchet one kit for going out partying, a professional one for at work.
I just have me and my mom. I don't know if you saw one day when everybody was over, and I was like sitting there listening. That day I was like just sitting there listening to music, and Layla tried to bother me, and you were like, "Don't bother him," while I was just sitting there. A song came on, and made me think of my mom. I started crying, so I walked into the kitchen just to kind of like not be around anybody.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so. I can't even imagine a life without my mother. So
I know. I think about her every day still.
I bet.
Even if that wasn't my
Right.
screensaver.
Right. Yeah. No, that's your mother, man. And
It screwed with a lot of my relationships when it first happened too. So
yeah.
me and Hunter became less intimate and stuff like that from just I couldn't bring myself to do anything really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's almost,
Layla was just like, I'm 35, and I was like, you better not be 35, because then that means that I'm 78. And then I was like, my mom probably won't be here. And I was like, oh god, I hope my mom lives to be 99. She better still be here when I'm 78.
yeah. Yeah, and one of the worst parts about it was that it was 2 weeks before my 25th birthday, and I was going to be down on my 25th birthday.
So you would have got to see her.
And it was the first day of my new job, and I was staying in a hotel in New Jersey by myself for training.
So it's just, I mean, it came on so suddenly, right? Nobody knew
that
anything was wrong.
Well,
ish.
She was in the hospital a lot around that time.
But only for like a few months, right?
Yeah.
So like it came on pretty suddenly. Like, hey, I have a cough. 2 months later, you're dead.
It was
how traumatic.
I mean, it wasn't for a cough. It was for blood clot. Like a blood clot came loose and it caused her to not be able to breathe. And it happened a couple different times. And I mean, she had cancer she was diagnosed with cancer for over 2 years at that point, and she was only given 2 years to live. So I think everyone saw it coming.
I didn't even know that actually.
Yeah. She got diagnosed with cancer. Let's see, she died in 2023, 22, 21, in 2020, November of 2020, she got diagnosed with cancer. And a month before that, she went to the doctor, and they told her that she had a respiratory infection, and gave her a steroid for it.
That grew the cancer?
That grew the cancer. The steroid, she did have cancer at that point, but the steroid helped the cancer to get to stage 4, or it was technically late stage 3, but, and when the same doctor that was there had to tell her that she had cancer, and she was crying, because she knew that she screwed up. And I mean, Mom was high a lot during the last month or so, probably, because they gave her like a weed prescription or whatever, and she tried to avoid that stuff after getting out of prison.
Right.
Because that's what she went to prison for meth.
Right. No. I meant like why would you start it all back up after spending all that time trying to make yourself better?
Right.
So I mean, I had not seen your mom since I was a teenager. Like when I got pregnant with Blake and went off with Kevin.
Yeah.
I had not seen, like, I wasn't around when her and Uncle Rick split up. I wasn't around for none of that. And then Michael called me when I was with Joey. And me and Joey went down to Sarasota to hang out with Michael for some reason. We were bored or whatever. And I saw your mom again. And I had to apologize for being such an asshole kid.
I think she told me about that when I went to go see her. I think she told me that she saw you and that you apologized to her and stuff.
Yeah, because it wasn't her fault that I was an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. And I just never, I never had the opportunity to have contact with her or anything. Not that I necessarily would have before I had grown into the person that I was when I saw her. But yeah, no, I'm thankful the Lord gave me that.
I'm still not friends with Michael on Facebook.
Me either.
He keeps sending me requests.
I know. Alyssa was like, who the fuck is this? And I was like, that's our cousin we don't talk to.
He stole money from me.
I was like, he's robbed everyone.
Yeah.
He stole money from Uncle Rick. He stole money from Uncle Ray. He wrote bad checks in Brittany's name. He stole money from me.
He stole money from me when I was like a little kid. And I had like...
Well, he was bad when he was younger.
I had like $300 or something in my underwear drawer. And he came and stayed with us for like a few months or whatever, and then just disappeared one day.
With your money.
And yeah, I think like a week later I was going to go buy something, so I went open my drawer. I think actually I was trying to buy my friend's Xbox off of him, because he had just gotten a new one. And I was like, yeah, I got the money, and went and checked for it. I was like,
nope, no money here, friend.
Yeah. And so then I had to have my dad pay for it.
Yay.
Which, I mean, it would have been partially him paying for it anyways. That was money saved from like birthdays and stuff.
Right. But right, you didn't go out and mow lawns for it.
Right.
But you saved it, and that's
that was the important part.
Yeah. Because once he gives you money, it's your money. You do with what you want with it.
Yeah. So
So
I
yeah,
think
fuck
since
Michael.
I think since then, nope.
You never recovered from that, from your child ass shit.
Yeah,
You hold it. What's your sign? I forget.
I'm an Aquarius.
Makes sense.
You stole money from me. I don't deal with that.
Yeah.
If it's anything else, if you could break my heart and I'd forgive you and talk to you still. But if you steal from me,
Yeah, you can't be trusted.
Yeah.
Which is what I feel the same too a little bit. But I like to give 100 chances.
But
I'm like, are you really gonna steal from me again?
But if he seemed better, I would give him the chance. But last time I saw him, he was still high on shit when he was there for Thanksgiving with the family at my mom's house.
Yeah, he was pretty cracked out when I saw him too, and that was pretty much the last I saw him was with your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because he was like, sure, it's fine to smoke weed, and we were smoking weed out back, and she came out there, and she was like, what the fuck? I love you, Megan, but no, you can't have that here. I told you no drugs here. And I was like, I don't have drugs. I just have weed. She was like, Megan. I was like, okay, I'm leaving. Sorry.
Yeah. She didn't even like drink beer after she got out of prison. Like she didn't want to have any substance that could potentially make her go back.
Yeah, and it's that slippery of a slope. I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah, and yeah, I miss her a lot.
I bet.
And I didn't get the chance to have the relationship I wanted with her.
What's a bummer?
Yeah, because she got cancer basically right after she got sober.
Yeah, and right after you're a grown up too.
Yeah.
To be able to actually make your own decisions and shit.
I was 22 when she got cancer.
Yeah, but at least you got to know a sober her at all.
Yes.
Like poor Leah and Frankie, they never get to know that their dad could have been better.
Yeah.
They never get to know that. They never get to remember anything except for being little gents. And while we all remember who he really fucking was.
I still loved him.
I mean, I didn't not love him, but it's hard when you love an addict because
I know.
that's not them. So the things that they do aren't really them.
Yeah, I know.
But they still do them, and it's still shitty.
Yeah. I don't know. But I don't know if you. I didn't know a lot about that because I knew him basically as a kid too. So. Just like I didn't really. I could tell something was off with my mom, but like, I couldn't really put those connections together because I didn't have any experience with it. I didn't like, and with her ex-husband Bobby, who was a cokehead, I didn't know what that looked like, but I didn't like when he got so angry with her and stuff like that. So that's kind of like, looking back on it now, I was like, oh, he was probably fucking coked up or messed up at the time when he was.
Or coming down and we need to get some more, and why are you fighting me? I got my kid here, we can't go get more. And what we go get more.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah, I couldn't put that together when I was that age, but today I can look back on it and see how people were, and I kind of know the effects of drugs on people more now.
And she wasn't as she was a better mother to you than she was to the older boy.
Because I only got to see her on the weekends.
Right. She wasn't strapped with the responsibility of you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Or else you might have been locked in a fucking bedroom for 3 days at a time.
Yeah, I didn't know about any of that. I knew that the kitchen had a lock on it, and I could understand having a time of night where you would lock the kitchen because 3 teenage boys are going to eat you out of house and home if you don't. But to have it locked as often as they had it locked, it was never locked when I was there.
Oh no!
Because I got to have all I wanted when I was there.
Because you were the golden child.
Yeah, and I was the miracle baby.
Right. That shouldn't have even survived.
Right. Exactly. I saw my medical records and everything I was diagnosed with when I was born.
Bro, we were. That's why they bubble wrapped you.
In 1998.
Way back in the 1900s.
No, but medical science. I mean,
it's really advanced in the last 20 years.
Anybody born how I was now probably has like a 90% chance of surviving.
And probably has a scar like this big.
Yeah. Yeah. Back then, where they said that just the intestines part was like a 50% chance of living. Plus, I was born with sepsis.
Oh, wow.
Which, sepsis is insanely deadly, even to somebody our age.
Yeah, for sure. I know a whole grown-ass woman who died of it.
Yeah. I was born with sepsis and survived.
Wow.
I think partially. They gave me fentanyl as part of the treatment. Like little tiny baby fentanyl.
What?
I saw that too.
Oh, wow.
I have the medical records on my phone.
That's so cool.
Everything I was diagnosed with, everything that they did for me in that 3 months that I was there, and
that's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild. You're a walking miracle, man.
Born with neonatal hepatitis. I had jaundice of the skin. I had sepsis.
Wild. Yeah.
And now my not just my intestines, but now my abdominal organs are in the wrong place
because they just shoved it all back in.
Yeah, it seems like it was still careful because everything is 180 degrees from where it's supposed to be in my body. Exactly 180 degrees from where it's supposed to be.
So
like appendix, right? Up here.
Oh wow.
Not down here. Up here.
Huh. That's wild.
Yeah. And it wasn't like my kidneys and stuff are in the right place. Anything that's further back is in the right place.
Right.
Everything that's forward in your abdomen is
somewhere off to the side.
Somewhere a little like the colon's supposed to start down at like the bottom part of your abdomen, and it starts up near my sternum almost.
Oh wow.
Near my like diaphragm and stuff.
That is so impressive, man. How you kids have just continued to just grow up and get smarter and figuring out life. Maybe you guys can teach me something eventually. That's what I'm counting on. You guys to get smart enough to teach me something.
I mean, I try to learn something every day.
Not that there's not plenty for me to learn. I didn't want to make it sound like that. Definitely not. But no, I'm ready. I'm ready for you guys to teach me some stuff.
Yeah, and I'm still looking into immigrating.
Yeah, same. If you find a good place. I did see the island on Greece. there's a city in Greece that will pay you to move there.
Yeah, some places in Italy will pay you to move there.
But they're all like
they're remote. Yes,
they're remote places.
That's why they were going to pay you to do it, because
I know, because
nobody wants to. The population's going down for a reason.
But then there's also ghost towns in America. Why are we not buying up an abandoned ghost town?
There's a castle in Italy that they won't pay you to move into, but it's like $1. There's stipulations on it, like you have to turn it into kind of partly a tourist attraction. You can still live in parts of it, but
right. At least some portion of it needs to be museum-fied.
Right, because they want,
and you have to restore all of it. And
they want
the restorations are like $2 million.
They want to pull tourists away from, like, they don't want just tourism in Rome.
Right.
They want to pull it further away, so that's part of why they want to do that.
Yeah, for sure. They need you to come and spend your money everywhere.
Yeah.
You don't just need one trip to Italy. You need 6 trips to Italy.
Yeah, because Italy's big.
Italy is amazing. I can't wait. I'm going there for my graduation.
I'm going to Scotland at the end of next year.
Nice.
I just noticed it was still recording.
It is, and then my battery's about to die.